Hello everyone. It's Laurie from Quick Scrap Craft, and today I'm sharing my next installment of the Scraplift Myself series that I started. I was organizing my scrap room and putting out old albums on a shelf, which feels so good because the whole purpose of having a scrapbook albums is to display them so you can look at them. And I was going through a very old one. It's so old. It's actually, I'm taping it. I taped it together with duct tape, or not duct tape, packing tape here because it was coming apart. So not the best quality album, but back when I was making this scrapbook album, I was very poor. And so I bought the cheapest album I could find. Maybe not so great in the long run, but at least the pages inside are still okay. So the thing that I decided I wanted to scrap lift, I have this this page here, which was part of a 2-page spread. I purchased a kit to kind of document where I lived. I had just moved and kind of the things around town and what the inside of my apartment looked like. So as you can see, it's not very embellished. Not really what I do now. There are 3 photos on the page, just a pattern paper border strip, a little bit of pattern paper here. I think I was probably running out of the paper from the kit. I'm not sure if it came with a suggestion of how to put everything together, but this is how I did the second page. So I do like the design of having the 3 photos kind of making sort of some type of like grid maybe with them, probably bringing them a little bit closer together. And I like having the pattern paper over here on the side. So that's kind of what's going to guide me as I scrap lift this. And so yeah, let's get into the whole process of trying to recreate this, but in a better way, right?
Okay, so here we go. And I just also want to say this is my 100th process video. I think I started this channel in 2017, and so I have done 100 scrapbook process videos. I should do something for that. I don't know what. What should I do? Leave me a comment below. Tell me what I should do. So here I am, scrap lifting myself, like the series is called. The original layout had 3 photos, and they were all pretty big. I can't remember if I cut one of them down. I might have. But for this, I only had 2 photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 photos and then a piece of pattern paper, the star pattern paper there, which is some Pinkfresh. The background is Bella Boulevard, and then the star paper is Pinkfresh. So I decided I'm just going to make it work because I wanted to use these 2 photos. They were kind of like next up on my desk to scrap. So I figured that's totally fine. I will make it work. And I'm right now, the photos and the pattern paper are in the same kind of style, the same arrangement sort of as the original layout. But that is going to change. I had to kind of work a little bit with the placement, but I think I figured it out. You'll see once I actually do it. So here, I know that I sped this up, but fussy cutting scallops on that pretty little studio paper just still looks pretty slow. So I apologize for that. Something that I do have to do for this, as you can see, it's very pastel. So I decided I was going to ink the edges, and I don't know that you can even really tell when the final layout is complete. But at least for right now, I felt like it would just kind of make it stand out a little bit more because I've used that pattern paper before on another layout and I didn't ink the edges, and it was a little too light. The colors on it were a little too pastel, so they didn't really stand out very well amongst the background. I was using a white background, so maybe that could have been the issue, and that it looks a lot better when it's on this bright pink background. So anyway, I don't need to dissect it. So I do want to back the photos. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. There was some pink pattern paper that was also Pinkfresh, but it was a little too pink on pink. It wasn't really wasn't gonna stand out amongst that flowered pattern background. So I pulled this, I think that's Studio Tekturek paper. I got it from Paper Issues. Use code LARS to save 20%. And I have just enough, even though I punched a circle out there, you're not going to see it because the photo is going to cover it up. So that's a great way to use up some scraps. If you have enough at least to create a border around the photo, it doesn't matter what's in the middle because the photo is going to cover it up. So I'm going to use that Studio Tekturek paper just because it's got some of the pink in it, it's got a little bit of the blue, and it's just going to give a little bit more contrast between the background and the photo. So I already know that I like the Pretty Little Studio scalloped paper. That's ready to go. I'm going to put that down. Now I just need to figure out where I want to put my triangle of photos. I guess I'll just call it all photos. And you can see when I backed the photos and I put them back on the piece of paper before, I rotated the pattern paper. Even though I had cut everything down, I think I did like it was almost 3.5 by 5. That I cut everything down to. And it still just wasn't fitting with everything being vertical. So I decide, and I'm sorry that this is a little below where the camera is cutting off, but I decided like, hey, I have this pattern paper. I need to do something with it. So I'm going to like decorate it and make it like almost like you would do if you were doing like a pocket page thing. So I'm just going to put some Studio Tekturek washi tape down. I've got some pink Paislee 5th and Monaco stickers. I'm going through right now some of the other pieces that were from kind of like the kit. I mean, these are all things that I purchased from my Paper Issues October haul. So I'm just going through to see what I like. There's a cut apart from some Studio Tekturek paper that says Dear Diary. And since these are photos of my daughter in her pajamas, I was like, this could actually kind of work. Like Dear Diary, you know, she's getting ready for bed. What do you journal before bed. So I just kind of thought, it might work. And then I'm just going through looking at some of the die cut pieces from the Carta Bella, I don't know, Oh Happy Day collection, I think. And so I pulled out one that said love. It had a pink border. One said beautiful. And one said you are happy or you make me happy, something like that. But again, they'll just kind of, these are not all things from the same collections. You know how I work. I mix and match stuff, and so they're all like the right colors, and they have sentiments that I like. But again, they're not part of the same collection, and that's okay. You can do stuff like that. So again, not final placement of things, but I'm just trying to like go through everything that I have to make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. So I found this random strip of, I think that might have been Simple Stories paper. Just a random strip. And I actually had another one. It was a border strip. So I'm going to end up bringing that same color, that same pattern over to one of the photos as well. So since I was pleased with my decision to use the Dear Diary thing, I went ahead and glued that down. And then here's that other matching pattern paper strip. So I'm just trying to like tie things together and create some embellishment clusters, and just put stuff here. So I've got a little cluster there of those like phrase pieces. I love the Pretty Little Studio patchwork stickers, and I'm going to use those, but I have to put them off to the side for now because I want to put them on the little paper strips, and since I don't have the paper strips stuck down yet, I didn't want to be prematurely sticking them down before I figured out like making sure that the embellishment placement was going to be right. So now I'm going through the Simple Stories I Am collection of die cuts and just pulling a couple things from there. And then I like the I Am collection because it's very it's very positive and kind of like girly and empowering, and I think you're supposed to use it for pictures of yourself, maybe if you were trying to create some type of like book of me or inspirational layout about yourself, but you can also use it for other people. I've been using it a lot for layouts of my daughter. So there's a little thing that says one of a kind. I really liked that love yourself heart, but I just thought it was a little too much. I wanted something that didn't have another word on it. And then down at the bottom, I found another big butterfly. And then in the gold foil, it says dream big, which I really loved. And that's actually going to be the title of this because you'll see I don't add any other alpha stickers to it, but I have so many words already. And the dream big piece was I guess it could have been called Dear Diary as well, but I just decided to call it Dream Big because I liked the look of the foil pieces, and the Dear Diary is a little bit more of the journaling. That's where I'm going to do the journaling pieces. So from the 5th of Monaco sticker sheet, I cut out this hexagon sticker, and that's going to go behind the pink strip and the other little cluster of embellishments just to kind of finish that one up. And then I'm not sure what I'm doing. I think I'm just trying to make sure I haven't overlooked anything. anything that might be cool. I really like those little banners with the words, but they were all going in the wrong direction, and so it just didn't really work. And I have my little helper here, the star of the photos. She's right here next to me, pushing the computer around while I'm doing this voiceover. But that's okay. Do you remember taking those pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole story of the pictures, I think she got those pajamas for Easter. And I was like, oh, let's take a picture of you in your new PJs. And she does these like weird poses. I don't even know what she's doing, but they're hilarious. So I got the pictures. Here's the patchwork stickers. So it makes it kind of look like there's stitching, even if you haven't stitched. I don't have a sewing machine, so I can't do stitching. And I just don't have the patience for hand stitching on a layout, to be quite honest with you. So I like the look of the stickers. So I've put those down. I've gotten stuff adhered. This little pocket page card is the last thing that I have to glue down, along with the embellishments, just to get those down. So yeah, so as I said, this is my 100th scrapbook process video. So if you like what you see, definitely give this video a thumbs up and click subscribe so you don't miss out on the next 100 scrapbook process videos. This one's almost complete. And I've been really enjoying going back through my old scrapbooks as I've been reorganizing my scrap room. I have been trying to find a way to get my old albums more out in the open. Right now, a lot of them were in Rubbermaid containers, and I'm like, this is defeating the purpose of having a scrapbook. I want people to be able to pick them up and to look through them. So, or at least I want to be able to pick them up and look through them. So that's been really fun to go back through some of the old pages, not just to see what I was doing back in 2006, but also to find layouts that I liked. But that I want to kind of bring more up to date with my style now. So I think the last thing I'm adding is some enamel dots, and I really liked the colors of the Simple Stories I Am enamel dots, but unfortunately I didn't have, she's saying this is too long, unfortunately I didn't have a whole lot of the colors that I liked from that collection, so a lot of the enamel dots are just kind of the bigger ones. I didn't have a lot of the smaller ones, and I do like to mix and match the sizes a little bit more than I'm doing now. But one of the things that I told someone recently, she didn't really know how to use enamel dots, and I said, just find the corners and start like filling out the corners with the dots. That's what I do. If you get your clusters down, everything else is down. The enamel dots are last, and you just build them out from the corners. So that's probably going to do it. The close-ups are going to follow. If you have any questions about the products that I used in this video or techniques that I used, I don't know, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. And also use the links below to follow me on social media, because I'm always posting probably more content there, especially on Instagram, than I do here on the YouTube channel. I would love to connect with you guys there and share our scrappy inspiration. And I better cut this short. I better say goodbye now, because I've got a whiny kid who wants some dinner. Yeah, children are lovely, but this is why we scrapbook their photos, so we can look back and be like, oh, remember when they weren't whining? Ha ha ha. So there's the journaling, and then the close-ups are going to follow. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you next time. Happy scrapping.